This is the PSE Full Throttle, fastest bow ever made at 370 feet per second. This is my personal bow. It's a custom bow. Obviously it's yellow fade to orange. That feature costs $100 more. I just want to go through some of the features that make this bow super fast. To me, this is one of the best bows ever made. Okay, to make a bow shoot fast, there's some certain factors you need. You need to reduce the weight of this cam. So you'll notice up here there's very little weight. PSE have taken out so much weight out of this cam system to increase the speed. These limbs are pre-loaded. So what that means, this is a straight limb and they put it under heaps of tension. What that does, it puts lots of tension on this string and these cables, which just makes the bow shoot fantastic. It takes all the vibration out of the bow, all the noise comes out of the bow, just a great system. Now this bow has been in design for maybe 5 and PSE would say maybe 10 years to come up with this bow. The first bow they produced similar to this was a Mach 10, which had independent limbs, so you could wind each limb independently to reduce cam lean. This bow, each one of these limbs is a different poundage to reduce the cam lean. So each limb has to be put on the correct order, and all the sizes for the limbs are on the back here. So if you buy one of these bows and you see, oh, the limbs are different, they're meant to be. This limb here is lighter than this limb, and this limb here is the lightest of all the limbs, and this is the heaviest of all the limbs. The reason for that is you've got a yoke system up the top here, which balances these limbs. So here is where you need the most stability, so this is where you have the most difference in the limb pressure down the bottom. A few quick things about this bow: you've got draw stops here and here which hit the cams. I find the draw really solid. It's 5.5 inch brace height, so it's fairly short, but I find it comfortable to shoot. Some of the points about machining: when you draw back a bow and you shoot a bow, the bow tends to flex left and right. So what PSE have done, the engineers here, and you wouldn't pick this up, but talking to the engineers, on this side here you'll see there's basically not a lot of machining taken out. On this side here they've machined out a lot of material out here, and they've done exactly the opposite down the bottom. So down the bottom this side's almost flat, and this side here they've taken out all the machining. So to reduce weight, this bow weighs about 4.2 pounds, so it's not the lightest bow on the market, but around 4 pounds tends to be a very acceptable weight. Some other things with the PSE, which is standard on all PSEs, they have these marking lines here over the rest and here on the shelf. That tells you where your arrow needs to be lined up. It's very simple to set up these bows. It's got different positions to put your sight on the sight here, different positions to put your cable guard, which is great. This is a flex cable guard, so as you draw this cable guard back, this little rod flexes in. Each of these cable guards needs to be a specific size for the bow. These are basically little limbs, and what they do is under the tension they flex in to reduce cam lean. The negative points of this bow, you've got roller bearings here on the cams, which are fantastic. You just don't have any problems with them. The negative point for me, and it's the only PSE which has got it, and these are set draw lengths. So this bow is 28.5 pounds, 60 pounds for me. To change the draw length, so if you go to sell the bow or you want to try a different draw length, you've got to buy new cams. It's a downside, but that's what you get from the extra speed. So this is not a bow for the beginner, this is a bow for the experienced archer who's looking to have the fastest bow on the market. You want the fastest bow for either 3D, hunting, target, because you want to, when you judge a distance, if you're out by 10 meters, you're still going to hit with this thing. You're still going to hit with probably 20 meters variance. One of the things with the PSE, it's the standard PSE grip on all bows. Some people say this grip is not the most comfortable, and I'm not going to disagree or agree with that. To me, I don't have any problem shooting it. What I do find with this bow, I own a lot of PSEs. The pressure point on this bow feels slightly different to my other PSEs. Normally my pressure points are down about here on the grip. I find my pressure point slightly higher with this bow, and I'm guessing, and I haven't spoken to the engineers, I'm guessing that's because the arrow is dead in the center of the string. So I'm guessing it's moving the pressure point up slightly, but that's just me guessing. I think I'm right, but it feels slightly different to any other PSE to shoot. I find I shoot extremely well with this bow if I'm shooting well. If I'm a bit slack and I'm not concentrating, then I don't shoot so well. Some other points about this bow, quickly. Locking screws here to lock the limbs in place, not that they've ever moved. PSE is just a fantastic company. I sell over 1,000 of these a year. Not full throttles, but 1,000 PSEs. The company is the best company I've ever dealt with. If you ever have a problem, they just fix it. If you ever make it to the PSE factory, it's fantastic. People are very friendly and they all work hard and they just produce a fantastic product. You know, they have, I think, about 8 engineers designing these bows and making changes to them every year. It's just a very professional setup. Right through their lines, their salesmen are excellent. And I think this is an excellent product through years of research and design. So we're going to have a couple of shots and see what it's like. I haven't got a stabilizer to start with, so you can hear it and see what it's like. Okay, I'm shooting carbon force arrows, 200s, which are rated for a 60-pound bow. For your hunting setup or your 3D, you're going to be generally shooting something which is a lot heavier and quieter and less vibration, but this thing is just outstanding. When the arrow clips onto the string, I like it to be tight so it doesn't want to drop off, but not too tight. Let's have a shot. So with no stabilizer, I get very limited movement of the bow when I shoot. The draw cycle is solid all the way through. It's got a very short valley. And I'll just experiment with that again, I'll show you. So with this, you've got a short brace height, so I'm feeling pressure as soon as I start to draw it back. And it's pressure, 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 and a very small valley and not a very big let off. So even here I've got a high let off. What a reduced let off does, it produces more speed. Okay, it produces better back tension, so you produce a better shot. It's not as comfortable, you don't aim as long, you don't feel like you can sit there and aim all day. You don't want to be half asleep shooting this bow, but it is just a rock solid bow. It's a classic bow, will always be one of the best bows ever made. Full throttle, I think it's awesome, but don't buy one if you're a beginner, because you want the adjustment in the draw length, and you probably want a bow a bit easier to shoot than this. But speed wise, it's awesome, and noise, vibration, honestly one of the best bows ever. Thank you.